Letting go is like trying to catch the wind. The harder you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. It's a bit like staring at your phone, waiting for that elusive notification, only to realize the silence holds a message of its own. So welcome, traveler. Today's meditation will be so profound, even your to-do list will enter a relaxation state, contemplating its own existence. And maybe you may let go in ways previously unthinkable. But first, I have a little invitation for you. See, most people think that letting go is about releasing. Well, it's more about realizing you are holding a cactus. The cactus is what you believe your escape plan is to leave your current situation. And this escape plan is completely made up by your false self-identity. The only purpose is to keep you in endless self-doubt, comparing and procrastination away from your true potential. So if you are ready to drop the cactus, check out my brand new online course that teaches you a 7-minute morning practice to dissolve anxiety and have more motivation effortlessly. This is based on true understanding how your hidden anxiety really sabotages you in every way possible. And so, if you are open-minded, we are simply going to destroy its plan. And the students who have been taking the course so far love this unique approach. And so we've just added a new feature where you can start with free lessons to see if you are actually ready for this kind of transformation. And to see how first ignition can change your life and to view the free lessons, simply follow the link in the description of this video. So let's embark on a journey to a place of ultimate relaxation and profound insight. Close your eyes and take a deep breath and imagine that you are nothing. And since nothing is hard to imagine, let's just come close to it. Imagine that you are just a speck of dust, a tiny pollen particle hanging in the vastness of the sky. And feel yourself being gently lifted by the wings of the wind, soaring higher and higher until you find yourself amongst the clouds. And the cool, calming sensation of water vapor wraps around you, forming these delicate crystals. And so you are transforming into this unique, intricate snowflake, weightless and serene. And as you drift through the clouds, feel the freedom in every part of your being. And you don't need to relax because you don't have arms as a snowflake. You don't have any. So feel the tension of your everyday life melting away like ice thawing under the warm sun. And there is also no need to relax your shoulders because as a snowflake, you don't carry any burdens. Your back, which usually carries your stress, is now as light as a snowflake gliding effortlessly through the sky. There is no tension to release, no muscles to unwind. You are simply a delicate, floating crystal. And your chest and heart are free too. There is no need to soften your jaw or release any tension from your face. Because as a snowflake, you simply don't have this. You are just a beautiful, intricate pattern, drifting without any effort. Your stomach, often tied with knots, doesn't exist in this form. Imagine it is just calm, snowy landscape, untouched and peaceful. You are weightless, floating like the snowflake, free from any physical form, floating effortlessly in the vast sky, and life is wonderful, and you marvel at your own beauty and admiring the other snowflakes around you. Because each one of you is unique, just like you, special. Together, you create a magnificent, shimmering dance in the sky. And then, far below, you notice the ocean. A moment of panic creeps in. What will happen if you fall into the ocean? Will you disappear? But as you drift down, you notice also an island in the distance, made of ice and covered in soft, inviting snow. And this becomes your new goal, your new safe haven. And so you try to will yourself to land on that island, thinking of all the ways you can get there. And you even see a bird flying by, and you try to negotiate a ride. You try to flirt with the wind, coaxing it to guide you to the island. And you strategize and try strategy after strategy, thinking you need to deserve to earn your place on that island. But between all your efforts, something profound happens. You hit the water and you realize that this sweet disappearance is what you've been yearning for. In this seemingly hopeless chase, there is a hidden freedom. The reason you can't let go is because you've been trying. It's like attempting to fall asleep by sheer force of will. Ever notice how sleep sneaks up on you just when you stop trying to control it? Are you really the one deciding when and how sleep envelops you? Or does it come unbidden in its own mysterious timing? Imagine trusting that sleep will find you, not because you have any other choice, but because that's how the universe works. The same way you trust your heartbeat, unseen and uncommanded, to pulse through your veins. We spend our days in the labyrinth of thoughts, each worry a turn, each fear a dead end. If I don't get my 8 hours, I will be tired and grumpy and stressed tomorrow. But what if that sleepless night is the key to a door you didn't know existed? What if those tired eyes see the world a little differently, catching glimpses of ideas that only come in the twilight of exhaustion? Think about your social media feed, a curated gallery of highlights, each post a brush stroke in the painting of me. Yet, beneath the surface, there is a quiet desperation. Can I trust this connection? Can I trust myself? Trust, like sleep, can't be forced. It's too expensive for the fragile ego, too risky for the curated self. We hide behind our screens, crafting identities, yet fearing the raw, unfiltered truth. So peel back these digital layers, and what do you find? A raw existence, where the dance of life continues without the dancers. It's like standing on the edge of a vast landscape where the horizon stretches into infinity, and you realize you are both the observer and the observed, without the fantasies, without the endless striving and trying. You're left with what is a present that needs no embellishment, a life unfolding with its own rhythm, where the self dissolves into the boundless dance of existence. And so, in a similar way, simply dissolve into that being that you truly are, and let yourself be breathed. Let yourself be carried. And not even that. Just feel the lightness of your being. What if you can't let go just because you're trying so hard? Trying to be the best you can be. Trying to be peaceful and calm and good person. Trying to change yourself. Trying to improve yourself. Just like the snowflake falling effortlessly. It was perfect and beautiful until it starts comparing itself into the others, which of course can never be done. Without that comparison, it is just pure perfection, pure beauty. And what is really beautiful about snowflakes is that they really start with a speck of nothing, a little particle of pollen or a dust. And the beauty that they become, it only comes from that fall, from that journey they go through. As they are falling through the atmosphere, they're collecting those vapors and they start forming these crystals. And so there is a beauty in that journey. And who do you think you are, trying to middle with perfection, other than a thought, other than an image in the mind, trying to desperately compare itself to another image? There is no winning. The mind is so creative, it can come up with infinite number of different comparison scenarios where keeping us constantly trying and striving, never arriving into the place of simply being good enough. It's always either being better than the others, and that makes us feel good and confident, or when we compare ourselves to another image, we don't feel good enough, or we don't feel we're doing enough. And so in this duality of the mind, of the images, of the fantasies that are so hidden that we don't notice, that they drive every decision. Beyond all of these fantasies and the universe of shoulds and shouldn'ts, the entire universe of assumptions, without that, you're simply left with what is, dropping into the ocean effortlessly, and you can't change it even if you try. And you can't give up either, even if you try. That is the paradox, as what we call giving up or acceptance only leads to resignation. And so you're left exactly here and now, and not even that. This is already the dream without an exit. The more you try, the deeper into the maze you going into. Looking for hopes, looking for some future promise that will make you feel better in the moment, which of course it's only based on a fantasy so convincing that we can't help but believe it. And without that, without the believing, without the past and the future, all is left is just this now, which is not a moment in time. It is simply what is without time, without the stories that happen in the timeline, in the story that tells you what you need to do to survive. And that story is completely made up. It's completely made up. But nothing in it is random. It's all for one purpose only: to keep you in the maze. And so, without the story, without the images, and without the one that tries so hard to be better, to have more, to be more, to do something to deserve some better experience in the future. Without all that effort, there is just a drop in the ocean, and not even that. There is just the ocean, which is this. Beyond the fantasies, leaving you completely naked, is the tiny speck, a dust piece, particle of pollen, and not even that. And there is a hidden freedom in that. Just like the clouds are doing what they are doing. Just like the birds are flying the way they are. Just like everything in nature unfolds perfectly, except of the opinions we have about it. So is life unfolding. With nobody in particular, dissolving into the vastness of nothing in particular, into the mystery that cannot be described by words. And yet, the duality, the meaning, the words are so beautiful and unnecessary, because you need the words to be able to read in between the lines. It is the dance of the stories of me and you, and then not even that. Coming home to the wholeness when nothing is missing, because there is nothing to compare to. This is simply beyond any comparison, simply because there is nothing else. And so, let yourself be floated in that ocean, like a seaweed perhaps, that gives no resistance when it does. Let the current take you for this beautiful dance, a dance of existence, that is only possible where there is me and you, where there is before and after. And when it's too much, when it hurts too much, there is always a way to jump out of this duality for your entertainment only. Jump out by recognizing the simplicity of what this is, not by an intellect which only compares to something else in the mind, but by recognizing the mystery that doesn't need any solving, that is whole and perfect. And there is nothing more intimate with no division, with no separation, simply because there is nothing else. So the seaweed just floating in the current. And I love the word current. It seems so immediate. It describes this so well, with no preparation. Gently being moved, and not even that. Not needing to understand that experience, and not needing to be anywhere else than exactly where you are, and not needing to be in any way different, fixed, changed.